Hey beautiful, what's good? It's your girl Chris Corio here and welcome back to Chris Fit Online. I am so happy that you're here. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to do a squat. This squat I'm going to be doing it with resistance tubes. I'm also going to be utilizing resistance loops. So I'm giving you two different ways of doing the squat with external resistance and one without. Now the first thing you want to think about when doing a squat, I'm talking about the perfect squat that I could build this Italian leg them is I'm going to turn directly to the side, and then I'm going to turn on a diagonal and then facing forward so that you can see the different angles of the squat. Only one camera may I use, but here you want to point the toes to the direction that you're facing. Shoulders are relaxed. The spine is kept neutral. Now, if you are one of those persons who has a hyperlordosis like this, you want to ensure that you do this within a mirror. And some of us don't even know that we have that hyperlordosis, which is pretty much referring to the hyperextension happening down here. You stand up like a chicken, right? So what I want you to do is look in that mirror, tuck the bum under, and if you don't have a mirror, you can use a phone. Tuck the bum under. Make sure that your belly button is also tucked in, knees are pointing forward, toes are pointing forward, hips are stacked over knees, knees are stacked over the ankles. From here, what I want you to do is pretend that you are pushing the hips back to sit on top of a chair. Now, here's what that looks like. And I want you to put the hands overhead just like this in line with the ears. And as you sit, keep everything nice and tight. So you're still pushing the hips back, keeping the body upright, keeping the core nice and tight. Sit on that chair, and then as you come back up, squeeze on those glutes, squeeze on the outer thighs, inner thighs. This is a full body movement, so the entire body is engaged. And that's how you do a full body squat, okay? So when I turn this direction, it's the same thing. I'm going to place my hands right in line with my ears, and again, belly button is tucked in. I'm activating my entire body. My core is activated. My shoulders are activated. My hips are nice and strong. Solid legs from hips right down to the knees, down to the toes. I'm going to start to push my hips back, maintaining an upper core. So even though my body is descending, my upper body is still maintaining that upright stance. I'm still nice and solid as I sit on that chair. Squeeze, everybody will be squeezed and solid as I'm pulling myself back up into a standing position. From here, I'm just going to bring my hands down. I'm going to do this facing you because you know, son, after the good gal front. All right, I'm sorry. So here we go. Toes are pointing forward. Knees stacked over ankles, hips stacked over knees, shoulders stacked over hips, belly button is in, and of course there is a nice, tight, solid core that's happening from the front right around to the back. Placing my hands again right by the ears. I'm lifting as I'm descending. So here we go, sitting back into that chair. 3, 2, and 1. Sitting back into that chair. Notice how my chest is still visible. You're still seeing it. And then I'm going to lift now back up to standing. So I'm lifting up, upright, squeezing everybody as I go, solid, nice and solid, and relax. And now we're going to introduce our external resistance. Now I'm starting with the resistance loop because this is like the most common thing. Every woman has a booty band. So I'm going to put this right above my knee. And what I want you to think about, the great thing about doing a squat with resistance around the legs like I have them here, is that it helps to give proprioceptive guidance, which is a fancy way of saying showing you where your joints are in space. So as you're going down into that squat, what you find is that the knees are pressing open to keep that band from collapsing. Now, many of us, when we do a squat, especially beginners, the knees start to come in like this. What I want you to think about is pressing the knees outwards, so forward and outwards, so that you strengthen the outer side of the hips. Typically, The person who, when they do a squat, the knees cave in, typically you have balance issues. So you want to ensure that you're working on stabilizing those hips while you are doing your squat. And this will transfer into other activities such as simply walking or just standing up on one leg, shifting the weight from side to side, and so on. All right, so here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Sitting on that chair, and 1. And then we're coming back up to standing, squeezing everything, lifting from those hips, still bracing on that band as we come up. And as you see, returning to that neutral position, the band never collapsed. So again, I'm going to do this on the diagonal. So here we go. Lifting the hands up, toes are pointed forward, knees forward, hips nice and neutral, the entire body is nice and strong. Belly button in, neutral spine. 3, 2, and 1. Descending, sitting on that chair. And we're going to lift up again. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, facing you forward now. And what I want you to really pay attention to is how much my knees are not being allowed to collapse, because I am actively activating those abductor muscles that are bracing myself out so the knees don't collapse. Remember, one of the reasons why I keep emphasizing this, it is much easier for you to get an injury with the knees and the ankles collapsed inwards than it is when you are bracing outwards. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Notice how my knees are not collapsing inwards. Ready to come back up. See, my chest has not collapsed. My chest is still visible. And squeezing everybody, the whole body is nice and solid as you're pulling up and out of that squat. And relax. So now I'm going to take my panties off. Oh, please, y'all know what I mean. So now we're going to be using this resistance tube. I recommend all of my CrossFitters, everybody who has signed up for CrossFit Online has a pack of resistance tubes. And they go from typically 10 pounds up to about 50 pounds. And then you can add and subtract as you need. For example, a 10 can go to 20, so you have 30 pounds together. Or you can go to a 50 to get 80 pounds. And they can go, keep increasing until it is challenging you enough. But I guide everybody through my CrossFit Online, which meets Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6 p.m. Jamaica time, and we meet via the Zoom app. If you're interested in joining this group fitness class that happens weekly, make sure you check the link below. Go right over, sign up. If you have questions about this, you can send me an email at the email address located below in the caption too. So with this here, one of the important things to note is that you want to make sure you check your resistance tube. I don't care how new they are, you want to check them, make sure they don't have any sort of weakness, because if these pop, they could sting you. Just like if a dumbbell in the gym falls on your foot, it could break your toe. So you want to make sure the handles are nice and solid. Everything is hooked and nothing is falling off. Feels right, feels good to me. And then the first thing you're going to do, you're going to stand on it just like so. First of all, ensuring that the handlebars are the same height. You don't want to have a situation where you're lifting and one is looser than the other, right? You want to pay attention to that. Sometimes it's a visible cue where you have to look down and check, because one side might be so strong you don't even realize that you're lifting heavier on that side, because the body naturally compensates for weaknesses in the body without even, you know what I mean? So sometimes you literally have to look at yourself in the mirror, which is why gyms are full of mirrors. Look down and see, okay, they're even, right? So when I'm here now, I'm doing the squat. I'm not going to put my hand overhead, because I'm going to treat this as a back squat, like what we do in the gym, where you put a barbell over your shoulders. This works perfectly, my girl. So you're going to bring the hands, let me turn and face you, around, and you're going to put the band on the back. Now, if this is particularly aggravating to your skin, it feels like it burns you a little bit, then I advise persons to wear sleeved outfits or long, full form fitted clothing that will cover and protect the skin. Make sure it's thick enough, especially if you are like the princess and the pea. Make sure it's thick enough that you don't feel any abrasions. Try the exercises with the band, lighter bands first, and then you increase it as you feel comfortable, not just in terms of the weight, but also with the rubbing against the skin. So here, bring it over the shoulders, right? Toes are pointed forward, knees are pointed forward, hips are nice and strong. There is no hyper or hypolordosis, repeating everything that we just did, maintaining a neutral spine with the natural S curves. Also, shoulders are relaxed, chin is up, and from here, you're going to go into your squat, sitting down on a chair as per usual. Each time you're doing a squat, you're sitting on a chair. So here we go. As we're going down, the body is pulling up. So 3, 2, and 1. Sitting down. And when you reach about 4 counts, squeeze everybody. 3, 2, 1. My chest is still visible and you're lifting upright. And that's the squat. I'm going to be turning to the side, the diagonal. Again, you notice that my toes are pointing forward, ankles nice and strong. Everybody is the same, nice and strong, solid body. If I should touch you, you should not be able to move an inch. So here we go, 3, 2, and 1. Hips down. Notice that you're still seeing my chest, and press right back up. Okay, turning forward. Now, the main reason why I'm showing you how to do this as well with external resistance is because many times we're able to do the exercises normally without weight, but the moment we put external resistance on, the body starts to shift around to start to compensate, which is why I like to encourage persons, especially if you come to ChrisFit online, you can start off with the first week or 2 without resistance, especially if you are an absolute beginner, and then after that, by the 3rd, 4th week, 2nd month, you are using your resistance bands or your dumbbells, whatever it is that you have purchased. But everybody in ChrisFit, it's mandatory that you have resistance tubes. So here we go. Nice strong body. Bring the hands around. Rest it right there on the shoulders. Make sure it's nice and comfortable and not abrasive, not burning or giving you any sort of any flaws on the body, which God knows we don't need anymore, right? So here we go. Keep the chin up. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. Keep the belly button in. 3, 2, 1. Let's push the hips back. Sit in that chair. Keep the chest up, nice and visible. And after about 4 counts, you can lift yourself back up. 3, 2, 1. Reaching up. And there you have it. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. In this video, I showed you how to do a regular basic squat using your body weight, as well as 2 forms of external resistance. First, resistance tube, and then I also showed you how to do it with a resistance loop. Now, you can use any combination of these while you're doing your workouts. If you want an idea of how to use these, you can either join ChrisFit live sessions, which happens every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. Jamaican time. We do it via the Zoom app, and all the information is pinned below in the caption. Or you can check out my free ebook, the 30-day Empowered Woman's Guide to Working Out, Making Yourself Feel Great. It's 30 days, and there are YouTube videos that guide you. The only difference is from the ChrisFit online live classes and the Workout Empowered Woman workout guides that I'm not seeing you, so I won't be able to make those corrections. But you can do it. Persons have done it before. It can be done. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, if it was helpful for you, you can comment below. How much are you squatting in the gym right now? Comment below. Have you ever worked out with resistance tubes? How do you find it different from working out in the gym with a barbell or with dumbbells? Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you later.